Gentlemen, welcome to another week of Cocktail of the Week. I still haven't figured out a good name for it, but welcome to another week of this. So I am 2-0 in the era of weekly cocktails, but I have a feeling that streak is going to come to an end this week. I don't know why. I haven't looked at Creed's roster at all since the draft, basically. But, and I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about this week. Who knows? So we'll see what happens. But I'm feeling a lot better this week. So here we go. The cocktail I have chosen for my matchup with Creed is called the 19th Century. Now, it's kind of a twist on a classic cocktail called the 20th Century, which is made with gin and a dry vermouth. This is made with bourbon and a sweet vermouth. So it's kind of a different, little darker twist on the 20th century. Call it the 19th century. I'm picking this one because Creed, with his coal miner beard, has a very 19th century look to him, old-fashioned look. So, and I figured a bourbon-based drink would be good for Creed. And it's a yummy drink and I like it. So what you're going to need to make this cocktail is 1.5 ounces of bourbon. I use Bulleit Bourbon, a 10-year Frontier bourbon of theirs. I like it quite a bit. You need 3/4 ounce of lemon juice, which I am going to show you some ways to get juice out of a lemon if you need to know. It's pretty easy, I guess. So, but whatever, it's fun. 3/4 ounce of white creme de cacao and 3/4 ounce of sweet vermouth. The recipe calls for Lillet Rouge, which I don't have. I have a couple different types of sweet vermouth, but the one that I prefer to use is the Cocchi Vermouth di Torino. So that's what I got. All right, well, let's get started. Let's see. Here, I'll just start pouring. We got that, like I said, 1.5 ounce bourbon. And we're gonna put it. Again, we're using fresh juice, so again, we'll be shaking the cocktail. One of these cocktails, eventually, I'll be stirring instead. We'll see when we get there, right? 3/4 ounce of the sweet vermouth. And 3/4 ounce of the white creme de cacao. Now, there's two types, white and then a dark creme de cacao. They're very, very close in flavor. A lot of the times, you're using one or the other just to kind of avoid certain coloring in your cocktails. But some people say that the white creme de cacao has a slightly more vanilla-y flavor to it. I don't know. And then 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. So there's the two ways that I get lemon juice. You can use a juicer like this, which is pretty easy. You just throw a lemon half in there and squeeze it, and you get some lemon juice. But sometimes you don't want to dirty a dish, or maybe you don't have one of those, or maybe you're trying to get the juice out of a fruit that's too big for that. So another way you can do things is after you cut it in half with your knife, you cut that half in half, leave it on the knife, and just gently squeeze it so that it uses the knife to kind of get all that juice without spraying it all over the place. So that is it's another way to do it, a little trick, but the easiest way is, of course, the juicer. All right, so 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. All right, Brian sent in a question for me, a very straightforward one. What's my favorite cocktail mixer? You know, there's a lot of different ones, a lot of different like vermouths that you use, you know, but and then various different liqueurs and stuff. But I think my favorite, and the one that I use the most, it's an Amaro. There's a lot of different types of Amaro that you may have heard of, like Aperol. You ever had like an Aperol Spritz before? It's a very like kind of a pink hued Amaro. Campari is a very common one to make like the Negroni and other cocktails like that. Americano is made with that too. But the one that I prefer to use Amaro-wise is Averna, Averna. It's a Sicilian Amaro, and it's a really like down the middle Amaro in terms of its flavor palette. It's not like overly bitter like a Fernet, and it's not overly sweet. It's just kind of right in the middle. So anytime you have a drink that calls for a different type of Amaro, like a Aperol or a Braulio or something, you can use the Averna, and it'll be close to what they want for the cocktail. You know, it's good flavor, and I like it quite a bit. All right, so after you shake all those ingredients up, you pour them into a chilled coupe glass. And much like Creed, no frills, no garnish. You just drink it as is. The 19th century. Cheers, gentlemen. Here's to another week. Let's hope we all get drunk. See ya.